topic or no tropic?
Hey guys,
I like that one.
hey, let's watch True's Hangout right now. I want to kind of like go through it while he is, because I think it's overwhelming that Red's roll the fuck stomped him. True is just living in a delusion that he thinks he can make an argument. So he's got right in there. He's got Antonio. He's got Matthew. I think Sean's going to join him. But let's listen to that so we can like go through it where they are. I think Max is going to play it for us.
Steve, what is it about?
He's trying to say that Reds doesn't understand science, which is really kind of absurd, right? I mean,
which aspect of what? Which branch area? Or is it just science in general, or what?
Well, he just says science in general, sure.
Oh, so it's really about philosophy of science and on the practice of science.
Yeah, because Reds understands, the scientific method. He also understands things like hypothesis and conjecture and the difference. And he understands that you need experimentation, you need predictive modeling. He kept asking, True, how do we recognize design? And everything True said, and 99% of his word salad bullshit boils down to, well, it looks designed, therefore it's design. That's all his argument is. When you strip away all the jargon, it looks designed. That's the best explanation. It must be designed.
It's an argument from analogy at best, and at best it's a fallacious argument.
I don't look at it as in terms of argument. I tend to want to look at it in terms of the psychology of it. So when they say it looks designed, what they're really saying is that
I got it.
Okay.
Why should we think that intelligence comes from a non-intelligent?
We're not claiming we know where it comes from.
So, basically they want you to forget about what we observe, and what we observe is just what I explained. 1 + 1 = 2. Life comes from life. Intelligence comes from intelligence. And if we got intelligence in us,
debatable.
Intelligence made us.
Yeah. When Matthew talks about intelligence, that's have to cringe, right?
You can't prove.
He's the one that he didn't understand why 1 + 1 = 2 in every galaxy. He said, well, how do you know that? You have to go to the galaxy to determine 1 + 1 = 2. I'm like, no, it's analytically correct because we've defined it to be that way. It could be no other way.
We know what they do.
Or it could be a synthetic a priori, one or the other.
Come on now, why do you think?
No, I don't think it can be a synthetic a priori either, because I think math is something that actually is descriptive.
It's been really hard. Yeah, clearly he doesn't understand what I was talking about when it came to
we'll have to agree to disagree on that one.
But the obvious answer here is exactly what he knows. Obviously, certain things that are only known to come from a designer, designed things, created things that we know are only have been created. Or
what the fuck?
Was that word salad? Can someone kick that back to me? What did he say?
Is indicative of a creator. And the fact that he needed to
so the only creator we've seen, the only
so far down the road.
Designers create design things. Design things are indicative of a creator, therefore there's a creator.
That to me was just, to me it told me that he just wasn't
trying. By the way, Nootropic doesn't even accept things like synthetic and a I kind of do, but I don't know if I apply it to mathematics. That would be a good discussion, though.
I definitely think it applies to things like colors.
And one thing colors I find interesting is the concept of universals and how you look at color and how I look at color. Does that color actually exist? Is it just our brains producing some emergent thing? That's what we perceive as a color. I find that to be fascinating.
There's a whole thing called philosophy of color that looks at that.
Wasn't it Kant that got into that? To talk about that?
Yeah, his idea was that colors are phenomenal properties and we use them to understand the world.
Yeah. See, I do remember something.
The motive with him, but he tried to, slither around there like a little snake, so he didn't have to answer those questions. Anybody can sit over there.
Red's a snake, yes.
You don't understand.
Yes, Red was talking at 1,000 words per minute.
person that speaks.
You know, everybody in the live feed at the time was like, could you tell
But when it comes
Ronnie to slow down? He's like going a million miles per hour.
These guys, they really don't understand it. I should have done it.
Yeah, go faster, so his brain cells will blow up.
For each other to finish.
It will overheat. That's what you want.
Han Solo.
Oh, Haunted Shore, did you send the GIF of Redline to his Skype account?
Not yet. I don't know. I don't think he like gets my Skype messages at all. I'll check.
Somebody sent that GIF to him.
But yeah, I think it was telling. I think that we all saw how it went down.
Man, I did have some questions for you too from this guy, Isaiah Sloan. He stated, and I got a screen cap of what he said. What you got wrong, and I said
everything.
Well, we won't get into that.
Yeah, seriously, like he makes he's a nice kid, right? But he just
happened to DNA in water according to the temperature of the water. And then he says it just goes in solution DNA that has been rehydrated.
Matt does not know the difference either.
Analysis.
I can't believe Red changed his mind. Damn, now I'm gonna have to go back on
I love that. That's awesome.
How does it feel to know that True Empiricism made a better case for his dumb fuckery by example than you ever will by argument?
Two Reds of all people who would want a flat earther to win.
This is the greatest.
He says you say they have 70%.
Well, I was actually away from the computer. I apologize.
Did you just say that Jim said like 70% what? Chimps and humans or something?
Can you repeat what you said there toward the end, please?
Yeah, repeat it.
Yeah. I was saying basically what does True have wrong here? And they say that you don't believe that DNA, I mean, yeah.
DNA and water, I know that one.
Like degradation, see. Degradation, not dissolve.
Dissolve. Degradation. Yeah, I've gotten that already with them in the past, and I'm going to be making a video in the future. It's going to be the very next video that I produce is going to be this video.
If I had a nickel for every video True Empiricism never made that he intended to make.
They're deliberately trying to mix things up.
You know what's funny is Matthew earlier, I think it was yesterday or this morning, I can't remember together, but he actually said, you know what, I think Ronnie's wrong on this. He actually admitted that Fiona explained it to him. And he seemed to understand it. So.
There's going to be a lot of things shown in this video. It needs to be made. And I'm, like I said, in the other hangouts, I'm trying
I'm at the point where I'd be like, fuck it, I'll have a debate on whether it's all really great.
They're going to be saying a lot of the things that they've been talking about.
Knowledgeable
for a long time.
Sam or Fiona to have that kind of discussion.
Video, but I'm going to make it an honest video, man.
But I'm gonna have to do that for a Patreon thing, you know. I'm gonna do that. I want to make it a Patreon.
And I want us to compare and look at overall what's happened with myself and other theists in the community, like Matt Slick. Look at how we may have acted out and said the wrong thing, and compared to how many times we said the right thing with these individuals in our community, so that people can see overall, you know what? Yeah, we may have acted out from time to time. We may have made mistakes. But overall, even a lot of the accusations that they're accusing us of being mistakes are not mistakes. It's actually the community at large doubling down and lying and tweaking with information because they're trying to save face. So there's going to be a lot of things brought up in a very thorough way. And I've been avoiding for a long time talking about it, but there's trust me, it's going to be taken care of. All this stuff about DNA and water and everything else that they've been talking about.
The chimps having 98%, you think they have 70%? Was there a moment?
There's some studies out there that say that the chimpanzees and humans, they actually have an 80% difference.
It's 90. It's like 8. It's 8.5%.
Like who's a geneticist? I forget what his name.
Do we have to listen to True Empiricism? Can we just shit talk him without going through the torture?
No, I'm enjoying this.
His name is Tompkins.
I mean, that was
You couldn't remember Tompkins' name? Is that what it
that
was?
was recently changed to 98%.
Yeah,
No, it's always been 98.5. They even did Sam even showed us a paper from 2005 Nature that did a total assembly and did a genomic analysis. It was 98.something%.
There could actually be an 80% difference. And he's a geneticist, but that's never been, my firm position on anything. It was just, some information thrown out there so people can maybe think about it and look into it a little bit more. But I say, yeah, about 98% difference.
I got one more. It says, basically I said, I heard his chromosome. This was when I was hanging with you guys back in the day. It said, I heard his chromosome 2 argument, and it's a difference of assertions between how many times fusions happen and lack thereof. TE says it will happen more, and evolutionists say it's more rare. Please say where he's wrong. And then he said, no, that's not the argument.
That's not the argument.
Is there are too few telomere repeats. I say that he says, I say that it's unusual. He thinks it is. He's wrong. You'll never find a chromosomal fusion involving telomeres in which there are many thousand.
Yeah, because they're pristine. Telomeres prevent them from fusing. So why would you get a telomere fusion if they're pristine telomeres?
Specifically what I said on that. I'd have to
Speak
go
of the
back
devil.
and check out
They
what
called
it
you a
was
dipshit,
said.
Isaiah, basically.
Because honestly, the chromosome 2 fusion thing is not on my mind. I don't really pay any attention to that. The reason why is because it could be 100% true that chromosome 2 fusion happened, but it could be a convenience thing for an evolutionist, but it wouldn't ever prove evolution. Because all it is
you don't prove evolution. It's just evolution.
Translocation or
it's like saying little germ theories never prove it. So what?
Well, no. It's just a repackaging, I guess, of the chromosomes. The information content wouldn't really change. So I think I wouldn't really have too much of an issue whether or not chromosome 2 fusion is true or not true. I think that they're just at least people, they follow me for everything that I say. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what discussion I'm having. It could just be me making some off-the-cuff remark or comment, or an in-depth discussion I'm having with someone, and they're all over me about it like white on rice, man. So, I have to go check back, see what it is that they're referring to, see what it is that I said in context, because I'm honestly not keeping tabs on everything that I'm saying here online. May have said something, may not have said it. I can't confirm it or deny it, and that's my answer.
To your defense on the last one, I might have been wrong on what you said, but I did think when you and what was his name? Rope. What's his name?
Ruhif.
Yeah, that's back when you we were in there and we were looking at the paperwork or whatever, and of course at the end of the video, basically it seemed like it came down to you thought that there was going to be more telomere repeats, and he thought there was going to be less.
Yeah, that's I know what you're talking about. It's I think I was basically thinking that it wasn't even that. I think what it was that the article was really vague. It didn't tell us what to really expect with the fusion events. So I didn't really have much to go by. A lot of people know this already when I'm talking. Like I try to keep my bandwidth all the way down.
He didn't know what a telomeric repeat was. He kept on saying, "Oh, look at those repeats." It was TAAG, which is for tetrahymena, not humans or primates even.
So when I was reading some of the things that he was saying, I wasn't really convinced that his article was saying what it was saying, especially as we ran through it all. So I don't want to get to specifics because that was a while back, and honestly, I don't remember all the details of it.
He never knew it to be in the first place.
I think that's pretty much what it came down to. I'd have to go back and check out everything that went on.
Yeah, but we're here to talk about the debate anyway. I told him next time I ran into you, I was going to ask you his questions that they were claiming you were a liar and all of this. So I said,
he's a liar and he's wrong.
Well, trust me, I'm going to be putting up a video. I'm going to be dealing with a lot of this stuff, man.
How many times is he going to say that? It's like the fourth time. I'm going to be dealing with them. He's going to make a video, Max. I'm back.
I really don't find it like too compelling or big of an issue to me. But maybe I could try to figure out a way how to, put it in there.
Yeah, I ain't trying to put you on the spot on that. I just was trying to, show them that, we will ask you questions instead of just,
Yeah, it doesn't mean Ronnie's going to answer them. He
It's
just
good to see you guys.
Did he answer any
Wow.
Matthew's questions?
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, brother Matthew.
Max?
Where you guys been? I
Max,
know
right?
you've been on, but you rarely.
I'm sorry?
Did he answer any of Matthew's questions?
You want to know why we really?
I wasn't
I
thinking.
didn't hear anything that was considered would be an answer.
Going into that discussion. That's why.
Yeah, he did a bad job, man. He's like a kid that just never grows up, man. How old is that guy? He's like 30 years old, 20 years old.
He's like 25, 26, I think.
Were they talking about Reds?
Yeah. He was like 25 or 26.
And I think he's older than that because I think he was like 25.
No, he said this. He said this out of his own mouth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what it is,
25,
but
26. Like, I think I heard it out of his own mouth like a month or two ago.
Yeah,
He's very, very immature, man. He really, really is immature. That was kind of a ridiculous hangout, man. That's why I don't like doing these hangouts with these guys in the community, man. They're just so ridiculous, man. You feel like you're talking to a teenager.
yeah.
Yeah, we have Reds as the immature one in this relationship. Okay, let's think about this.
Coming up for the year, all this madness.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what the videos you have to do with, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of it. Trust me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna see it. I'm gonna make sure I get decent amount of views on it. Trust me. So yeah, I'm gonna take care of it.
I'm like multitasking. I'm like listening to this here. I've got my live feed. I got their live feed. Then I got Hannah's live feed. Which, by the way, I would have joined Hannah's, but I didn't see her thing fast enough. I had actually left that hangout when she put something in there because I actually went back and saw this.
Didn't look dumb at all tonight.
But we did have a bunch of people in here laughing hysterically.
Tested him and see what he really knows compared to
I think he was trying to do that, but the problem was that he was trying to say that like it's irrelevant. Like when he was asking him about the ATP synthase, he was just trying to sidestep the argument and saying it's irrelevant. Or you're gonna sit there and talk about that she doesn't understand science, but you won't test them in that regard when he asked you about the ATP synthase. It was just quite laughable and hilarious to me.
Well, they weren't ever addressing True's argument because it's in reference to the best explanation. He says the first thing he said, and a lot of their argument was, I don't understand. I don't know why, but for some reason, a lot of atheists think if they don't understand the argument, somehow they defeated it. And, I mean, I can say that about anything.
Yeah, not only that, they'll just not understand the argument and then just argue ad infinitum. You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand.
People don't understand their arguments because their argument is actually very basic, and they just throw in a bunch of other words with it.
It's just garbage. I don't really get why they think this is some sort of way to approach a conversation in any sort of mature fashion.
They hear a cliche counter argument like gone to the gaps and they'll just try to apply it to everything. And what I found is when you say I'm inferring the best explanation, you're saying I'm not sure exactly. I'm not saying I'm with 100% certainty what makes things look designed, but the best explanation is design.
Why is it the best explanation, though?
That's what the whole question is. Exactly. Why is it the best explanation? Exactly.
That's the way we solve all. That's the way we answer all questions.
No, it's not.
Everything can be looked at as a gap.
Is this Sean talking?
Yes.
Oh, this guy. Sean was in the live feed going, oh, we couldn't detect if a multiverse existed. So I gave an example we could because I know Darkflow is a potential measurement of universal contractor from an interaction with another universe. I explained it to him. He's like, well, no, it's not. I thought, oh, okay. I give you an example.
or what
Dark matter is actually potentially
The point is that you're allowed to
creator of
react
multiple.
like that. And it's not really a fallacy when you're admitting from the front, like, this is the best explanation. You're not saying it's certain. It's like, until you come up with a better one.
We're not saying they're saying it's certain, but why is it the best?
You're not saying it's the way it is. It's not as firm of an argument as
Right, it's nothing to do with gas, because the whole concept of an abductive argument is that from the outset, necessarily
The best argument is a naturally formed system
best explanation for the available data.
through many trials and error and replication.
Actual right answer or anything like that. It's just the best explanation. That's all. And I don't really know why they can't seem to understand that.
And you're actually using their worldview. It's with a lot more courtesy than I would use that. But as you're saying, we're going to presuppose everything you believe.
Oh,
to
you
show you,
fuck.
according to your views, it's the best explanation. You know, you're grading them everything. Which
Steve, this is just making me physically nauseous.
Basically, like, within, 100 yards. But I understand why you're being courteous. Like True likes to talk about the science issues, so and that's the only way it's going to happen is if you assume their system will keep.
Oh, Sean, well, I don't know, Sean. I tried to be a precept once, but I fucking sucked at it. So now I'm just speaking gibberish as an ID proponent.
Look at how much it makes sense. Like
Yeah, he didn't last long as a preceptor.
the line, just the line itself, or any animal, the ecosystem, everything. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think it describes us as Christians, like, very, very aptly and just very accurately.
Oh, you only got 3 people in their room?
Yeah.
What happened to Sean?
Yeah, I mean, imagine
Oh,
if we insisted the opposite way. Like, if
I'm not updating.
you always want to presuppose naturalism to argue, say, well, I'm only going to accept facts if
I don't even know if we can even say we presuppose naturalism anymore. It's kind of a
yeah, but I actually
we don't suppose there could be a supernatural explanation.
You could just presuppose naturalism in an instrumental sense, methodological naturalism, and you'd still be fine.
You know, we just could never have a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, exactly. Because we will allow for a supernatural causation if it can be demonstrated.
The point is just to show them that that's what they're doing anyway. You know, like, it's not to win the argument so much as saying, like, hey, you're basically unwilling to talk about anything unless I start the argument by saying you're right.
Yeah, man, I don't really understand why they can't see that intelligent design is not, positive for some specific God, creator of some sort. I mean, there are even agnostics out there who have taken to this explanation. I know some agnostics.
Then they're not agnostic.
Yeah, I don't exist, remember? I was told that agnostics don't exist.
They're not really sold on that concept. They see a whole lot of holes in the evolutionary theory as well, and then they take a second look at intelligent design. They're like, well, maybe this deserves a second look or something. And so, like, yeah, agnostics can, at least honest ones, can at least take a second look at
Hey, I even offered any one of them to come in here at any time and explain to me what the hell True said in that debate. I caught a little bit, like 5 to 10% at most, but the rest, 90%. What the hell is he saying?
Oh, it's not.
It was pure word salad
We're
nonsense.
just spitting vitriol in the chat to me because I was, I was just arguing with them there, and he said, well, you have to supply a mechanism to explain intelligent design, and I said, I don't know how my iPhone 6 works, like, not a super detailed bundle, but I know it was designed. I don't have to know how God made it.
You don't know what works?
To know that how was designed.
Yeah.
What did you say, Max? He doesn't know how what works?
Who's that talking?
A cow or
He
something.
doesn't know how a cow works?
I wasn't paying attention to be
I don't know
fair.
what that means. But I mean, okay, first of all, we could figure out how things work, right? We can reverse engineer things. We can look at it. We can understand physics, and we can understand how a lot of things work. But if we don't automatically assume an intelligence.
Here's something that's weird. In terms of mechanics, when we're looking at, did they just stop or did I pause it? Oh, that's weird. Their videos is wonky. When we reverse engineer something, we're looking at only the material cause. And so I don't know why reverse engineering helps us do something. Like,
Well, they're looking for an efficient cause, right?
Yeah, if they're looking for intelligence and they're saying this is an efficient cause which exists, but We don't need to infer any efficient cause if we're just looking to reverse engineer it for its benefits. I mean, it's a material thing. If we're looking for a function, that's part of the material ontology. That's part of what constitutes it. If that's what we're looking for to help us in our technology, then we don't care where it comes from. That's secondary. So not sure how this helps at all.
Yeah, like I don't either. And
can I just go into this hangout to tell them how stupid they are? Like,
I don't think their hangout's going anymore. I think they froze. Maybe refresh my. Oh, they're back.
If you
must be my computer.
Attack the argument.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Saying
But what was his argument? I mean, Reg was trying to explain to him, look, you need to come up with an explanation of why this is the best explanation. Why intelligence? What gets you there? All he said literally was, we have turbines, we have motors, it looks designed, therefore the best explanation is designed.
Sean, it made me unfollow you for some reason. I don't know.
It's weird too because I actually got a plugin and I block people that it's all they do is insult people and there's no.
Oh, listen to Mr. High and Mighty Sean.
Then I block their channel. I'm not going to get those people views. And then there is once in a while, like out of the blue moon, sometimes like even Steve will have a moment where he's actually courteous to somebody, but it's very rare. And it's just kind of irritating that people are touting themselves as intelligentsia and all they do is spew nonsense and I did want to talk about
crap. I lost the link to get in there.
Academia because
what a shame.
People say that's not science. Their science basically will appeal to the consensus
Oh,
of
here it is.
scientists.
Is that Dionysus?
No, that's Sean. You know what? I'm just going to go in there and see what happens. You'll still hear it, guys.
True empiricism?
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in 5 minutes.
Okay. I accept the rules. Okay, I'll go in. Let's see what.
Tell me, bring everybody with you too. Because I mean, they're dogging us, poor Isaiah. Why are they picking on Isaiah, man? They think C. Brown wrecked you or something. I don't know.
What they?
If C. Brown doesn't,
who said my name?
Next year, something's seriously wrong. Like, seriously wrong. Let's see. I've got to make sure I'm actually thumbing these down. True Empiricism show. Sorry, True. You don't get a thumbs up this time because you're talking stupid shit. But Hannah gets a thumbs up. Yay!
Okay. I'm just going to mute the speaker from your end so you can only hear it coming from mine and the speaker doesn't go into their hangout.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we can still hear. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, we can pop over to like Canada or something in a minute or whatever. I can't hear anything though. They won't hear us, right?
Well,
hello? Anybody? Can you guys hear anything? Say, Max. We can't hear anything. Anybody? Are they even talking in their room? All right, let me retry. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I could. God dang it. Max, we can't hear their chat. I have to manually do it, and then nobody can hear it in my feed. Yeah, we don't even know if it's subjective, but okay, whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Fine, so you can't just be arbitrary from that point and say, well, they don't look designed to me. Like, he's not giving his opinion. He's saying that these look like turbines, and turbines are designed, and neural networks act a lot like computers, and those are designed. He didn't make that second argument, but I just did. And,
I believe his argument was he'll grant you that it is designed, or even that it looks designed, but how can you infer that it was an intelligence that designed it?
Right. So there were two ways. The thing I think we're talking about, there were two different people coming back with it.
We're talking about Red's rhetoric. Well, I'm speaking of Red's rhetoric.
We're talking about the chat, the side chat too.
Okay, I see.
If you get, I mean, I know it's a layman way to say it, but if 1 + 1 makes 2, and life comes from life, and why don't we think intelligence came from intelligence?
Well, those are two different things.
The difference is intelligence. It doesn't matter how perfect, however you define that, or how bad, however you define that the design is. The point is it an intelligence at all? That's the point.
So in terms of that whole 1 + 1 = 2, and what intelligence comes from intelligence, I'm not sure what those two things have to do with one another. And like, just going on the first thing, 1 + 1 = 2 is somewhat of an analytical truth. It's something you infer a priori without doing any empirical work, because mathematics is all about definitions. That's just how the system works, based on the rules of math. What are the foundations on those rules? Don't ask me.
Mathematics is intuitive.
Well, that's what a priori mean. That's one idea of how to come to an a priori truth, by intuition. But where life comes from isn't so obvious as mathematics.
I think he's saying that he does intuit it, though. So you might disagree with him, but I think that's what he's saying.
I mean, anyone can intuit anyone can claim.
If you got one apple, right, and then you add another apple.
I know. Yeah, that's. Yeah, okay, that explains math. But in terms of intelligent design, how are you deducing that? Like, you can't just say intuition, or intuitions can be wrong.
Well,
from life, he's talking about the observation, not necessarily. I mean, he does extrapolate from there, probably all the way back, but initially that's an observation.
Actually, the whole life comes from life thing, there were biological experiments in the 20th century that actually found opaque distinctions between the two things. In fact,
your mic is
testing 1 2. Can you guys hear me?
Kind of, it squeaks.
It's got a squeak echo.
Okay.
It's kind of funky, man.
I'll just, maybe if lowering the volume will help. Test 1 2. Just on the speakers. Oh, all right. If it's coming in clearly.
No, it's not. Are you going to talk about Miller-Urey or
no.
organic compounds from experiments?
That's one example. But even in the 20th century, there were disputes about, what is the essence of organic matter as opposed to inorganic matter, and people posit something called élan vital, which nobody believes in these days. So that distinction isn't as clear as people like to make it out to be.
I think when we're talking to lay people and we say the word organic, it can be confusing because that could just be something that's carbon-based.
Oh, he's talking about Miller's.
The Miller-Urey experiment was one thing, and the squeaking just be coming from you, Matthew, because
An amino acid or profile of amino acids, right?
Yeah, but that's the starting block of RNA. So, but the distinction isn't there isn't a clear, sharp distinction as people like to make it out, the notion of, unless it's precisely defined, we might be speaking in vagaries. And of course, you could always, there's a lot of things one can infer from a vague concept. That's something that we'd have to clear up in terms of, extrapolating from that. But I don't think it's as clear as to say, well, we definitely know there's the sharp distinction between life and non-life.
I think if we use just the idea of inference to the best explanation, if nothing else, it should limit the archetypes of atheists that are available. Because there's certain, you have to start talking about those origins as the best explanation that instead.
When you type it in Sean, familiarity or whatever,
I'll find a thing for you.
because I think I've heard about it.
Okay. So, right, in terms of inference to the best explanation, which you brought up, in terms of inferring to the best explanation, there actually has to be a comparison between the hypotheses and a probabilistic calculation between the two, given the background evidence. That's not something that was presented too much in the debate. What was presented is a comparison between mechanisms in inorganic, and not only in organic matter, but mechanisms we ourselves as humans design, and the ones we find within nature itself. And then using kind of an analogy between the two, we say if we can expect a designer in human designs, then we should expect a designer in these designs as well. But that's an argument from analogy, and you never prove something, be it probabilistically or definitely, from an argument from analogy. It's only there as a tool of illustration. It's there maybe to move your intellect in one direction or another, but it's not going to definitively prove something.
Well, I don't know if it's trying to definitively prove. I think, and I know you also kind of covered probability.
Right.
Anytime that we come to a conclusion, it's based on prior experience and noticing patterns, and it's somewhat establishing confidence in something. And I'm talking about a more naturalistic worldview.
What the hell did you just say? I can barely understand Sean. But Sean keeps wanting to relate this back to atheism. I don't know why he keeps doing that. But anyways. I think did Hannah's just get sniped? Oh no, okay. It's just, no, it's not. They didn't get sniped. They just haven't focused on reds. But anyways, so if you can't listen to the feed anymore, I mean, I don't know if I should continue to go on. I mean, I wanted to kind of listen into the feed and kind of talk about it, but Max decided to go in there, and by doing so, kind of killed our feed. So, no, she wasn't sniped. I looked at her hanging on. All I saw was reds, and they just had it hidden, like big focus. So. But I think I might just end this and then probably just go join Hannah's, because we can't listen to Ronnie. So unless Max is coming back. But all in all, the people in my live feed right now, I mean, does anybody think Ronnie won that debate? I mean, anybody at all? Because I don't even know what Ronnie's argument was really even about, except for the fact that it looks designed, therefore the best explanation is designed. That's what it boils down to. He gave no ability to determine if it is designed, what experiments we could do to test if it's designed, what predictive modeling we'd have if it was designed. He had no argument whatsoever, and he didn't even address a single thing that Reds kept bringing up like that. He just started going off his tangent, and of course, did Ronnie jargon bomb like we knew he would? Yes, he did. Matter of fact, I don't even know what the hell he jargon bombed this time. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that and find out what the fuck he was even talking about. I couldn't even venture a guess. Maybe Fiona was listening, or somebody might be. I don't know what the hell he was even talking about, because it was just words strung together, it seemed to me. So, Yeah, and it had nothing to do with the conversation, right? Again, I told Reds before he went in, I said, look at, this ATP mayonnaise crap, you can diffuse this by saying, why don't you just use the heart, right? The heart's a pump, and all pumps we've ever seen are man-made. Therefore, the pump is intelligent design. It's the same argument, same argument. And, you don't have to know jack shit about ATP synthase, but you kind of know what a heart is, right? There's, 4 chambers, and you got some, arteries going in and veins going out. Or actually the other way around, veins going in and arteries going out. I do know that. Good thing I'm not a heart surgeon, huh? Or another example would be like, oh, the sun is a fusion reactor, and all fusion reactors we have on Earth are created by man. Therefore, the sun is intelligently designed. And the most you can make an argument for is if everything we've seen is intelligently designed by man, then the sun is what is designed by man. But of course, that argument doesn't fly. And that's why they don't use that argument, because they don't seem to realize that if you want to use an abductive argument, that all the all the pumps we've ever seen have been designed by man, then the best you can get to is that the heart was designed by man. And there are artificial hearts, but we know that's not true. So their argument fails completely when they start using these types of fallacies from appeal to analogy, because appeal to analogy is always fallacious. That's why analogies are just used to help people conceptualize things, to help them understand, right? And that's why when I wanted to have this debate with Ronnie way back when that he butchered, I wanted to show him what there was like in a turbine. What happens? What pressure velocity compounding is, what Rateau stages are, what is a Curtis stage, what's a reaction stage, how does the pressure and kinetic energy, which is the velocity, change over each stage? How does it extract the energy from the steam, right? Because you have very, very high temperature steam. And that steam, it has a little bit of saturation in it. It's not actually superheated, but it is saturated. How do you extract that without getting water impingement on your turbine blades, right? Because as you're extracting the energy out, converting it to rotational energy, that steam is going to start to condense into water. You don't want that water impinging on your turbine blades at 30,000 RPM. That's fairly bad. So you have to do it in stages. That's why these turbines have these big wheels and smaller wheels, and at the very end they have what's called reaction stages. That's how they extract the maximum amount of energy to get to atmospheric pressure at condenser. You don't want pressure as your condenser, because that's bad. Condensers not made to have that kind of pressure. The condensers are made to be an atmospheric temperature, or atmospheric pressure, because the water in there you want to be made in liquid form, because it has to be pumped out of the well. So I was going to explain to him all this, and I had the drawings done. And look at my argument was very simple, and I want the people on my live feed to say whether you agree or disagree. My thing was that, okay, ATP synthase, I concede, is a motor. It's a proton-ion motor. But there are more differences between an ATP synthase to what we consider to be a turbine than there are similarities. Okay? Because if you start saying, well, there's similarities, you can get it to absurdities. You can say, okay, yes, they have a rotor, and you can also say they have a stator. But you know what? You know what? Both of these are on the planet Earth. Oh, that's a similarity. Both of them are made out of matter. That's a similarity. I mean, if you get to the nitty gritty, there's so many differences between what we consider to be a man-made turbine, even a simple Pelton wheel that Ronnie likes to bring up. All Pelton wheel is just basically is a wheel with buckets on it. As you have some flow going into it like water, the turbine turns because the water goes in the bucket fills up, gets heavier, and it turns the wheel. And that's what I wanted to have my debate with him on, to say, okay, yes, this is a turbine, sure, but if there's more differences than similarities, we can no longer use as some kind of abductive argument to say this is the best explanation that was intelligently designed, because at that point, the ATP synthase is not intelligently designed by a human or anything else. It's molecular by nature. Right? Because it's not even remotely similar to what we consider to be a turbine. So you can't make that kind of reasoning anymore. Do you guys agree on that on the outside chat? I mean, we actually got more listeners than I thought, but people usually don't listen to me when it's just me. But what do you guys think on that? And let me know in the outside chat. Max, can you still hear me, Max? Or are you still engrossed in the other hangout? I'm going to put the link in the outside real quick, and then if nobody bothers to come on in, I'm going to go to Hannah's Hangout. But I was just curious if you guys agree with me on that there are definitely a lot more differences between a conventional turbine and what Ronnie keeps saying, an ATP synthase. And the only reason he uses ATP synthase is because, he doesn't expect any of us to know about it, right? That's pretty asinine because most people have had biology have had ATP synthase. Like, I can't remember the technical specifications of it. Oh, I learned it and forgot about it. We learned it when we were doing the mitochondrial matrix and learning about ATP production and cellular respiration. It was complex 5 of the electron transport chain. So, I don't think you have to be a real genius to know ATP synthase, and you certainly don't have to know any technical specifications of it to address his argument, because his argument is the same for anything. Again, the heart. Oh, the heart's all we see is pumps, and that it was designed by man, therefore the heart must be intelligently designed. That's it. Fuck this ATP mayonnaise crap. I mean, Jesus Christ. Get over it, Ronnie. Seriously. Anyways, Max, hey.
Hi.
What do you think of my rant there? Sorry.
You're pretty much right, in my opinion, at least.
Only pretty much? Really? Okay. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, take whatever you can get.
Yeah, it's kind of like women, just take what I can get. I'm not picking.
I'm tired, and I'm still upset from last night. I stayed up till past 3 to view Jupiter, and the moon made Jupiter's moons too dim.
Do you know that if actually, what's funny is if Jupiter wasn't there, do you know you would actually see the moons of Jupiter with the naked eye?
Yes, I knew that. I told everyone I was waiting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that the moons of Jupiter are actually pretty bright. Well, the 4 of them: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Castillo.
Callisto.
I like to do lists like Ronnie does. Ronnie likes to do that. Oh, let me throw alpha, beta, gamma. So, okay, Ronnie.
You said Castillo. It's Callisto.
Callisto. I corrected myself. Yeah, Callisto. Here's my Spanish version of it. Castillo. Yeah,
Galileo got pretty popular for a week's worth of work. I wish I could do that.
Well, I mean, he spent how much time in home prison? I mean, on locked up in his house, house arrest. Quite some time, didn't he? A few years, right?
But I mean, like a week's worth of work viewing Jupiter's moons and how they orbit.
Yeah, well, I mean, he plotted them out, and he actually showed night by night how they changed, and that he's recognized them to be something in orbit around a bigger body of mass, right?
Yeah, pretty badass.
Yeah, I agree.
How come my network's working now instead of when I was in Red's Hangout?
Couldn't tell. Gremlins?
I guess.
It wasn't intelligently designed.
Yeah. Phones use electrons. We have electrons in us. Therefore, we are phones.
I can see a reasoning there, sure. What's going on with some of the other hangouts here? A lot of hangouts going on right now. Amazing. I don't even know why I'm having a hangout right now. Just like wanted to kind of do that live feed with them, but then Max left, so whatever.
Yeah, Steve, I'll just follow you around.
Now, if you're a cute blonde and female, that would be okay.
Actually, I'm an ugly guy.
Speaking of which, what's her name? She just messaged something. Tatiana, she's cute. General was all up on that. He's just like, let me show you my massive chest. Oh,
so Steve, you're replacing me.
Oh, you're irreplaceable, buddy. You're irreplaceable. Colorado, by the way, wasn't ignoring you. Did you? I got. Hang on a sec, Mac. Colorado biker. Did you? You were watching the live feed when I was pretty much showing Sean that he's a complete moron, right?
Oh yeah, it was. My brain still hurts
because it was funny because Sean. And I want you to tell the truth here. Sean had said that if multiverse was true, we'd have no way to know. And I as soon as he said that, I was like, wait a minute here. No, there is something called dark flow. Dark flow is the it actually is. If you look at the velocity of stars, and you measure the velocity of stars, and you look at Hubble's constant, sometimes there's a difference near the edge of the universe, the universe, And that difference is called dark flow. And they think that is a measurement of another universe influencing ours. And they also think that dark matter could be a parallel universe with ours.
Well, actually, dark matter and or dark energy as well.
Yeah, so I mean, these are hypothetical things. These are some things we're talking about, but it's a predictive model. It's a predictive saying that, you know what, if there are other universes, then maybe we might see this dark flow.
Well,
and actually we have, but we don't know if we attribute it to it.
Right. Also, the formulations for them can actually be restructured, and they still come out and they actually prove each other, which is pretty phenomenal. I mean, there's really no other theory either in physics or mathematics. Well, I guess there is in mathematics, but in physics, there's not really something that, you have two differing systems that actually will back up the other one, that will reconfirm the other one.
Yeah, I don't know if you see. I'm tentative to say it's actual great evidence for multiverse, but it's consistent what we would see with the multiverse.
That's the thing. It's consistent across all of it.
Yeah.
And the consistency is leading us to the same conclusion each and every time using different predictive models.
And that's my point I was trying to make to Sean, and Sean just literally blew me off like I didn't say anything. He's like, "Oh, you don't have any way to measure, test this, or whatever the hell he said." I was like, "Look, I just gave you an example."
Yeah, and and then you also bring in the concept of brain theory, M-brain theory, and then that also is a predictive model that backs up dark energy, dark matter, and the difference in Hubble's constant. So
and that's exactly what I was trying to. Do you think he's ever heard of any of these things before?
Oh no, he's completely.
Because he seemed like he was completely lost, and I was like, "Hey, don't sit there and tell people there's no evidence for this when I'm giving you evidence that you have never looked into, right?"
Right. And the M-brain theory can actually, the concept behind that is that there are two universes, and these universes collide, and that's what can create this a new universe with different.
Yeah, it's called two P brains, and they touch.
Right, they touch and they swap out energy, or, well, the concept is that they either swap energy and matter, or they, in the process of swapping energy and matter, it creates a rift in basically space-time, and creates another alternate new universe with completely different or parallel cosmological constants.
Right. Yeah, they're like a bubble.
The models,
yeah, universal bubble.
Also match all the other models. It's just everything backs itself up in this. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, they've never heard of it though, so they don't know how to argue against it.
Well, this was funny because both Rumpus and General on Solar are both physicists, and they both said the same thing, that they didn't even know, they didn't even think Sean had any physics experience, because the way he was talking was just complete bullocks. And he's been consistent about this because, yes, I do believe he went to nuke school. I believe he did. I don't know if he graduated, but I believe he did. But he was making some fundamental errors. And I had pointed out his errors, and he was getting up all on my ass. "Oh, well, I was an electronics technician. I was more educated than you," which was bullshit. It just means they're better for electronics. But the physics we took in nuke school is exactly the same. But but even General's like, "Yeah, no, dude, no, he's just not right on this." And I'm like, "I've been trying to explain to him. I cannot do physics problems in my life dependent on it anymore. You give me a physics problem, I have no fucking idea how to do it. But I understand the concept."
I can't either.
I don't do problems.
Yeah, I can, but I've kind of moved on to see. I don't have a formal education in quantum mechanics. I'm kind of autodidactic in that, as I've been studying it for the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and you've heard of it though. You've heard of dark flow, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. He's never heard of it.
Right.
And there's no, what's the evidence? Well, dark flow.
Well, dark flow can also affect quantum foam.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I wanted to get into that with Ross today, but I knew better. But he had mentioned the cause of the universe, and I wanted to get into the quantum foam and quantum fluctuations, instabilities of quantum fluctions.
Right.
How they get rise to
matter and energy popping out of one universe into another universe.
I would have loved to have that conversation, right?
Or actually inhabiting both universes or multiverses all at the same time.
But it was too much for the topic we had, right?
Yeah. Well, first of all,
we're talking
way above their level too.
Yeah, because I was going to ask him. I said, I want to say something. I agree there's a cause if you want to cause instability and quantum fluctuations, a cause, but that's a material cause. I don't know if I can say that for certainty that that is required to have a efficient cause. I don't know, right? And I really wish if I had that kind of topic, we would have like King Crocoduck in here, And my friend Antonio Biet, I think it's pronounced his last name. He's a PhD in astrophysics. That would have been a great discussion. But again, way out of my area, way out of my league. But I like the topic. You know what I'm saying? I probably hang with a little bit.
That's why I study it. That's why I've been reading on it like incessantly throughout the past couple winters. It's actually very fascinating to me. And I would love to get a chance to actually sit down and go over some of the things that I'm still trying to grasp with an actual PhD in quantum mechanics. So I've been watching a lot of the MIT lectures on it. I've been reading a lot of textbooks on it, but there's still a few things I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Maybe one day I'll try to get Leonard Susskind in here.
Oh yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be the shit, right?
Yeah, no shit. That would be good.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a theoretical physicist in the great debate community, but I have him blocked. So whatever.
You got him blocked?
Yeah, a long time ago, he just really pissed me off, and basically because of him, I got my channel flagged or attempted to get flagged.
Okay.
He just didn't understand. He was trolling, basically. I don't care if you have a PhD in theoretical physics or not. If you're trolling and it's going to affect my channel, and you're purposely doing it, I'm going to block you.
Right.
I did.
Sad.
Okay. It's amazing. Well, tonight, all I noticed while I watched the debate, or the so-called debate, I would not call it a debate. The only thing I noticed is that basically empiricism just always fell back on the same exact tired model that he's been using and has been refuted and debunked numerous times with the motors and turbines and all that shit. That's all he knows. He can't do anything. So he relies on argument and verbosity. All he does is just elaborate to the extent that you no longer want to listen to him and you give up.
Yeah, there's nothing new in his argumentation.
Well, argument by verbosity, by using excessive words and excessive... It's a debate tactic.
Of course it is.
And it does work.
That's why everyone should vote for Antonio Sewer Rats.
I'm sorry, what was that? I can't hear you where you're hidden from broadcast there, my friend. I don't know what you're saying. No, I'll cheat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, you know what's funny? Hey, Max, Red said, you know what? I'm done. You know what? Let fucking Ronnie win Dumb Fuck of the Year. But he gave up. He said, Ronnie, you are the Dumb Fuck of the Year. So you might want to change your vote now and be part of the winning team. Am I lying? Did he not say? He said Steve's going to be ecstatic about this, but you know what? I am now supporting Ronnie for Dumb Fuck of the Year.
Did you get all the jizz off of your screen?
I spooged like you in a booth. It was snowing here because my age is pretty much dust. Anyway.
It looked like a bukkake fest.
It's kind of like Isaiah after a few days of looking at thick women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but seriously though, Ronnie has been dumb for a long time. It's so old.
Well, he has yet to find any other types of arguments other than his ATP mayonnaise and his motors and all that. That's the only thing that he can actually pull out of his ass that he's actually read on. He hasn't read on any of the other possibilities of intelligent design or any other instances or anything like that. I mean, well, except for the watchmaker analogy as well.
Yeah, but he even does that. But that's so old. I literally feel like my brain is older than it is.
Well, I gotta give a little respect to Fuzz, who actually, at least he admitted it was a watchmaker thing, right? I mean, he was fine. He admitted that, but he thought there was ways of working around that. Ronnie's too stupid to even know what the watchmaker fallacy is, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's the difference.
The watchmaker fallacy by doing the book writer fallacy.
Yep.
I call it a fallacy.
Did you read the cell design? I gotta admit, like I said, I'm not lying. It's a good primer on biology. I'm actually going to use it for reference. Yeah, it's for an intro course. Yeah,
that is a good one. Another, that's a very basic one, but yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't go into the same inferences he had, but if I want to look something up in biology, I was reading through it, and he made some very interesting annotations. Like, for example, I didn't really even realize that one of the things that makes DNA hardy is that ribose, having the OH group on the 2' actually acts as a catalyst to help break down the sugar phosphate backbone. And so therefore, DNA is more inherently stable than RNA. And RNA, you want it to break down because you have to have self-replicating RNA in the initial conditions.
Yeah, it has to replicate.
Yeah, if it sticks around, you want RNA. If RNA somehow doesn't get translated, you want it to disappear, right? You want it to go away.
Yeah, because
I didn't know that OH group was a catalyst to break down that sugar phosphate. I had no idea. We never talked about it before, but I read that in his book, and I was like, that's cool. That this is why ribose is good for RNA, and this is why deoxyribose is good for DNA, because there's two different things, and this is what nature has found to be the best thing for what it needs to do, right? I don't look at a design and think, oh, look, it's over millions of all these trials. It just happened to be DNA ended up with the deoxo and
basically
ended up with the ribose.
I call it a protective shell almost, because it does provide almost like a shell around it to keep it from interacting with unwanted elements.
You godless sons and bastards.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's like Sean always. Oh, you're just an atheist. You guys are just making it because you're atheists. I'm so tired of people bringing up atheism when we're not talking about atheism.
Yeah, me too.
They don't get it.
Oh, there was that idiot John whatever in the sidebar. I think he was just a troll. I think he was just an idiot.
Oh, him? Johnny?
It was
Johnny Lee.
2K.
Yeah. No, he is. Okay. He's been trolling for years. Okay. He has never been in a hangout. He has made a video about me. He didn't even use his own voice. He has no mic. He is the definitive troll. He has been blocked from everybody's hangouts except for True's.
Oh, he's hilarious. Oh, I was laughing my ass off at him.
Oh, he's a waste of time anymore. We've heard him for years now. I mean, he's just a total complete waste of time. And I just have no patience for them.
I was just laughing my ass off at him. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, that gets old after the first, several hangouts where he's just trolling and then not even saying anything worth responding to.
Over the internet, I'd probably nowadays give people 6 months before I'm done with them.
Yeah, sometimes they're funny to listen to and funny to hear. It's, sometimes you gotta, keep your enemies or keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
But he's just a troll.
Oh yeah, he's
not even an enemy. He's just a troll.
He's an oxygen thief.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone should arrest him.
Well, so is Ronnie.
Someone should arrest them too.
Yeah. It's people like this that actually make me want to bring back eugenics.
My dad once wanted to go do a measurement on mountains to try to measure the curve of the earth, and I refused because I wanted to do it over water. But he doesn't know of a large body of water, and I'm like, well, I'd rather do it over water. But then he sends me one of Jaren's videos, fucking Jarenism, and shows how light can bend and be distorted. Now, while this can branch off into something that's completely stupid, it'll also branch off into something else that's completely stupid. Like, he thinks the light bending and there being a mirage on the surface of the water would make it look like a ship disappears behind the horizon.
No, because the law of perspective would never let the two parallel lines cross.
Yeah, but not affect how the mountains would look from 30 miles away.
Okay.
Basically, internally inconsistent.
Yeah, well, and also you have anti-crepuscular rays that when the sun goes down below the mountains, you can see the sun's below the mountains and the horizon.
Yeah.
And you can see sunlight still coming up. At that point, it's you can't. It's below the plane that they're having a hypothesizing. They're hypothesizing this disk. No, the sun's below that disk, but you can still see rays because you can see them over the top of the mountains. That means the Earth is not flat. Game over.
Yeah, we should do that instead of trying to fuck up a bunch of mathematical equations about the elevations of the tops of the mountains.
Well, I can just debunk it by walking up the hill where I live, because I live above Denver, Colorado, up in the Rocky Mountains. And on a nice, really clear day, low humidity, I can go up to a nearby mountain peak and look east And holy shit, you can actually see the curvature of the Earth with your eyes. I mean, it's not very pronounced, but you can actually see it. I mean, and we're talking anyway, 6,000 foot elevation change. You know, you're at 11,000 feet, and Denver's at 5,000. The plains are at about 5,000.
I'm going to be bringing this to a close. I don't want to keep this open. Hannah's got her hangout. True's got his. It's just not worth it with only 13 viewers. We can all go over to Hannah's hangout. So if you're watching this now, I'm going to put Hannah's hangout in the live feed, and we're going to pop over there. Is that cool, guys?
Yeah.
Damn it. Open YouTube again.
Let's make sure you put in the right thing here.
Just put it in the internal chat.
I can't see it. I'm on a phone.
Oh, okay. Well, put it in the internal chat anyway. It's the easy way for me. I know I'm being.
I'll put it in the internal. I'll put it in the live feed, and I'll put it in the external.
There we go. Thank you.
So all the above. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys over there. So, sorry we didn't get much more debunking with him, but, it is what it is. This is just a quick hangout, so I don't expect to get any views on it anyways. But Ronnie's a dumb fuck. So, vote for him.
Ronnie, he's the front runner right now, isn't he?
Yeah, before I hang up on this, let's actually look at the numbers.
Yeah, Ronnie's in first, okay.
Drum roll, please.
I'm going to screen share this before we go. Voila. Make sure I got no my girly pictures. And here we go. Blah, blah. Look at this. Oops, too many. 349.
Hey!
That's awesome.
44. Ooh, Darwin ahead.
Darwin's is not even in the running anymore. And Antonio, he's just done. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
sad to say.
17. He's way down. So Matt Slick got some more though. This used to always be 48, I think. Dionysus got one more. I voted for him too. So I did split my vote. I'll be honest. I gave, my votes to him, True, and then I gave one to Dionysus because it doesn't matter whether he wins or not. But all you Super Rats fans and all you Darwin's deity, come on, guys. If you voted for any of these guys, just vote for Ronnie because Ronnie's so far ahead right now, and even Reg wants True to win at this point. So
he doesn't really want to.
He, you know what? I think I know Reds, man. I think deep down he really does because Ronnie got Lion Cocksucker of the Year, and this would just be even devastating even more to get Lion Cocksucker of the Year and Dumb Fuck of the Year. Not even Ray Comfort could pull that off.
Oh, I don't know. I think actually, I don't think Ray Comfort could, but I think Answers in Genesis, Ken Ham could.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what's funny is Ken Ham has all these tweets and he never reads his. So me and Psystrike actually just fuck with him, and people like the stuff we say.
My dad starts making flat Earth videos. I want to see him win. Dumb fucking.
Who? You want to see who win?
My dad.
Oh yeah, but we don't interact with him, so. He's welcome to come on anytime. I'll be very respectful to him. Bring him into a hangout.
Steve, you're breaking up.
No, you're breaking up. Am I breaking up?
Well, how about we just break out of here and then go over to...
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
The other one.
All right, Merry Christmas.